Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Armchair QB Show. I am your host, Bill the Thrill Reed. And here I am once again, back for another episode. With me, as always, is my co-host, the man. He is the King of Sting, the Prince of Punch. He is the Count of Monte Cristo, the Master of Disaster, a man that needs no introduction anywhere in the civilized world. He is America's counselor, the one, the only, Michael Devine!
Ooh.
Welcome, Michael. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing
Yeah.
good. Another episode of the Armchair QB, man. We're doing good.
I mean, we're back. We're badder than ever. Well, at least in the last, week or two. My bracket's busted. I don't know about yours in the NCAA. It's kaput. I had Duke going all the way. I gotta tell you, they failed me this weekend. They really did, but it is what it is.
It's all right, If we were good at doing this, we would be, millionaires.
Sure.
So apparently we're not good at it. So we're just like everybody else.
Well, I'm not very good. I think you're a little bit better.
Oh, you're tremendously.
I think you're a little bit better than me, but, that's debatable. So we brought in a third this week.
I think we almost need it, man.
This man, right here to my right, the nature boy himself, David Ferlini.
Woo!
Welcome, Fro. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Thank you
Hey,
so much for having
thanks for
me.
being. We're sharing a screen this week. We got some new technology going.
We are?
We're learning as we go. I like it. I
Just
like it.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Stay on your side of the line, butthead.
Well, hey, we can things get out of hand. We can always put that blue dot or red dot or black dot over your face, and that way you can protect your identity.
Good call.
Well,
I think we should. I think we should completely just put completely messed up thing. It's funny. Well, I was talking to Hutch about this. This was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we can have Chavo on or something. But then what we're gonna have to do though is have queued up statements. So I'll turn his volume down and I'll insert I am a raging homosexual. I love
So it's like an old statement from him, which isn't even him, but somehow he's blaming some group of people for everything. Oh boy, you can't do that today.
No,
you can't. Well, no, not even in a humorous way.
No, you can't. No, it's impossible.
I know. It's just
too many hurt feelings. And
remember that episode on Seinfeld when George and Jerry, they were at the airport and they pretended to be those two guys. The guy had the limo guy had the sign holding up, and he's like, "Oh, are you O'Brien?" "Yeah, I'm O'Brien." And they end up being like the neo-Nazi, and they got him. Of course, that would happen to George. Oh, George.
It's funny about that show. I mean, it explained everything in life. I mean, literally, you could say anything random, and you could relate it back to a Seinfeld episode. I mean, literally, you could pull a random word out of a hat, and I guarantee you that you could say, "Oh, Seinfeld episode 327." Da 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 da.
Well, and that's what we love about Seinfeld. I mean, that's why to this day you can still watch an episode of Seinfeld. Curb Your Enthusiasm for those younger listeners out there, viewers. It's all relative. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
The thing that makes me sad though about Seinfeld is that I start using Seinfeld quotes and no one gets it because the kids nowadays don't.
I know.
Now some cool kids do know it, but
I say stuff at my job, I get crickets, and I'm like, really? Because in certain circles that would kill. That line, that joke, that quote, whatever it is. Some of them are just like, man.
Well, that's where we're getting old now.
Well,
because it doesn't play anymore.
I like to say mature, but yes.
I mean, I'm getting older.
Aging with a fine wine.
Correct.
I'm going to be 40 here in a few months. Man.
I know. I told Jill I don't want to have a birthday. You
can't skip it.
I know.
That's such a
I think we
no
should
surprise party like I had.
Well, I was thinking. I love
you, Veronica. It was fantastic. Thank you.
I think we should do.
Time, actually.
I personally think we should do a joint one. All of us, because how many of us have birthdays
can't do
in
a
the
joint.
summer?
We would get arrested.
Whoa!
A party. I was way
Yeah.
off.
I mean, how many?
I thought you meant a joint
isn't
party.
Me, you, Andy. Who else turns 40 of the summer?
Everyone. Todd, Leon.
Yeah. So I think we should make it just make one birthday.
Yeah.
One birthday for the rest of us.
Or do we wait till 50 and plan it ahead now, 10 years from now? Big 5-0.
I might not be making a 50. I don't know.
Going back to Seinfeld, remember the Millennium Party? They played it like in 1994. Newman and Kramer.
That is true. Look how easy that was. You had an episode you could kind of totally pull right into it and everything.
True that, man. So. I don't know. Well, like I said, I hope I didn't plan your party around your Final Four teams because they're not there.
So that's the beauty of me and March Madness. I really could give two shits kind of about it. Like, I don't know, I never really cared all that much.
Yeah.
One, because I just sucked at basketball.
But picking teams or actually physically
just physically I sucked at it. I think it was almost like PTSD. Almost like I think basketball, I think missing a layup and getting picked last. So then why would I want to engage in something that just reminds me of how bad I am at it and middle school, like trauma, bullying. I mean, like,
I'm surprised, you're a psychologist here. So I would think you, of all people, would be about talking about this and exercising your demons and overcoming that. Like, I would think you, of all people, would be over that and just, I don't know.
This ain't my show.
This ain't true.
So I mean, I guess if you wanted me to, it's your world, man. I'm just paying rent, but
we're on the internet, and that internet, Al Gore invented it. So I mean, we're kind of on his dime right now. If you just ask him,
that is true.
Would you agree?
I mean, he kind of made it more publicly known, I would say.
If you don't believe him, just ask him. He'll tell you.
The information superhighway.
Oh man!
So what do we got? What do we got on tap this week, man? I mean, there's a lot going on. What do we got?
There's a lot going on this week. We got. Let's start with baseball opening week.
Oh, I love baseball opening week.
Okay, we got a Mets fan, a Reds fan, and a Pirates fan.
Yep. And you can see in the video, there's a 86 Mets. Get my fingers over there. Right there.
Authentic.
It's legit. Crazy. It's legit
and
Mets
I found
fan.
a Pirates t-shirt in the hamper.
Oh.
It's kind of good enough. So.
Bill ain't got shit. You call yourself a Reds fan.
I got my MTV shirt on. I'm from the MTV generation when they actually used to play videos. Now I turn it on, and it's I don't know. It's like Intercourse Island. I don't know. My preteen is pregnant with triplets. I don't know what the hell's going on that station.
I don't know anything.
Is there any music? They have been like that. What was that?
MTV
Request Live. Is that
well, they have an MTV Classic, which plays like 80s, 90s.
Is it VH1 Classic or MTV?
Did you know that MTV does not even stand for music television anymore? Several years ago, MTV changed it to where it just MTV. It doesn't stand for anything.
Oh,
my tongue curls.
No, it's just that's what people know. It doesn't even stand for music television.
Yeah, that's.
Did you know that WWE subsequently did something similar a few years ago? It no longer stands for even World Wrestling Entertainment. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just WWE because people know it because it doesn't even matter anymore. In this age, it doesn't matter.
How do we make America great again when acronyms don't mean shit anymore?
I don't know. Remember when Austin stunned Trump at WrestleMania like 10 years ago?
I do remember that, yeah. And who would, the thing is that anybody at that pay-per-view kind of go, you know what, that guy's going to be president one day.
This guy's going places.
How many other former presidents could take a stunner from Stone Cold and get right back up and do the job? I mean,
you know what I would love to have on one of our shows, is have a neurologist, physiologist, doctor, whatever, and actually tell us so could a Stone Cold Stunner actually knock somebody out? Could what would happen if you really pile drive somebody?
What moves are real and what moves? Right.
I mean, if it was done on a non-padded surface,
what would happen? Yeah, what would? I'm just curious. Could you knock somebody out? Stone Cold Stunner.
I gave little John the pile driver in 3rd or 4th grade. And true story, and his dad, Big John, was an amateur wrestling coach. And, John and I were John Dalton, we were best friends growing up, really. Like brothers. We used to fight like brothers, And his dad, came over and was like, you guys were wrestling. Oh, yeah, you hurt me with the pile driver, I didn't know it was fake, so I would try to take kids out. And his dad, you like to wrestle. And I didn't know, but at the time, his dad was an assistant amateur wrestling coach for the youth team there in Dublin. I didn't know this, and he goes, oh, you like to wrestle? And I said, yeah, I love to wrestle. And, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be a wrestler. He goes, well, we have a wrestling team. I'm like, you do? I'm like, what? He goes, would you like to be on the team? I said, would I? Let's go right now. So I went there. Never heard of amateur wrestling, never seen it. Went there my first day. Went into this wrestling room. with mats as far as the eye can see. I'm looking around going,
million degrees.
Yeah, I'm looking around going, where are the ring ropes? Where's the referee? Like I was so confused. And they go, all right, get out there, and I'm in 3rd or 4th grade. They go, all right, get out there and just take the guy down and pin him. I'm like, dude, no problem. So I go out there. I'm trying to hurt people. Like I'm like, no, you can't do that. What do you mean I can't do that? Sure I can.
It was like in Necessary Roughness.
Yeah.
Illegal element of jinsu thrust.
Why if you don't
illegal takataki kick.
I never heard of amateur wrestling. I go out there. Only one of you can survive. Like that was it. But yeah, that started my love of amateur wrestling. Thinking it would lead to. How'd you know this?
I know. So we got WrestleMania come up here, don't we?
We do. It's coming up this week at MetLife Stadium.
So who's the main event?
Ooh, let's look that up here.
Yeah, it's I think it's official now, isn't it?
It is.
It's kind of groundbreaking and historic.
Groundbreaking and historic.
Well, I would say it is.
It depends on what you consider the main event.
The main event for me is the last match of the night. Mike, would you agree with this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
what
match.
I'm going to go with too.
Yeah.
I hear double main event. I hear co-main event. I hear no. The last match of the night, in my opinion, is the main event. Maybe not the best match per se, but it's the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who is it?
Well, you could argue Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship. That match probably had the most pain, I would think. Brock, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Hands down, he can destroy anybody any given day. It is choreographed, there is storylines. However,
we all know this.
Seth Rollins is looking.
You
to
know
get his
this,
butt kicked.
man.
I mean, you wouldn't have it any other way. Otherwise, we'd all be watching amateur wrestling, like we just mentioned.
Triple H versus Batista. I call him Dave.
Big Dave.
That one.
We're on a first name basis.
You just don't know. Batista's been in and out for the last 5-6 years. You don't know who's going to show up.
It's a retirement match.
Mentally, is Batista stable enough for this match? I don't know.
It's a retirement match.
For Triple H.
Well, if Triple H loses, now what is your thought on Triple H being back in another WrestleMania main event? I know some people think he only wrestles about once a year, twice a year.
Whatever happened to Triple H anyway?
Is
he still married to Stephanie?
Yeah, he's basically going to take over.
VP of Operations.
If one of the he's second.
Now, is that a real title?
Dude, he runs that NXT, which is like the minor league.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that NXT, which is on the network. I mean, that's through the roof. People go ape shit over that. I mean, that's actually not half bad. Like, and it's all him making the decision. Where a lot of people say, well,
they actually have good storylines.
Well, I don't watch a lot of it, but like from
NXT's more wrestling. I think.
It's like Ring of Honor. It's right. It absolutely is. And I think but people. My understanding is he's fully in charge of that. Like he makes all the decisions, and people. I mean, some people will tell you that NXT is even better.
Well, I don't know. The first, what was it? Royal Rumble? Is that one where the last one we watched over your dad's house?
Yeah,
so that was the first pay-per-view I've watched probably since I moved.
I was going to say like 15
Dude,
years.
that fucking sucked. I literally, now, if it wasn't just I like hanging out with you guys, then I was there's no way in hell I would have paid to watch that,
It's not your 1980s
oh
WWF.
My God. What happened to it?
Well, that's a discussion we've had for a long time.
Well,
the big part of it is probably the storylines. They get old, they get stale. There's definitely plenty of athletes, guys that are probably in better shape than they were back in the course.
Oh, way more athletic.
Oh yeah, they don't look as juiced up and
no,
they don't have the big beer belly like Hacksaw Jim Duggan did, and
but
Nikolai Volkov.
The
Those guys are great,
the songs, it's not what it was 20, 25
but
years
they don't
ago.
have the
wrestling doesn't even seem that good though.
But that's why guys like Triple H, Flair, Hogan, they bring back the old guys a couple times a year to get guys in our age group to get back into it, to help those buys, to get the pay-per-view revenue up. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. So
yeah, they're marquee names.
Yeah.
I mean, like
look at there's going to
Ric Flair's 72. Ric Flair fights Hogan tomorrow. Guess what? I'll watch it, and I'll pay to watch it.
I mean,
as an Eagles fan, if they were having WrestleMania in say Philadelphia, and you could bring out Randall Cunningham. Now Randall Cunningham's older than shit. If you just want him to come out,
Rocket Man.
Yeah, if you just want him to come out and just throw one long bomb of a pass, right? He can still do that. That's all you want. And guess what? The whole crowd will be chanting, Randall. That's all you need.
But I'd look at that. This is where WWF is kind of fucked though, because you got to look at it's like with any sport, right? Every sport goes through a ebb and flow of the stars retire, they build up the new ones, right? Any sport that's made it, you look at like a sport like NASCAR right now is struggling because all the big guys retired. They didn't do a good job of marketing the younger guys, right? IndyCar on the upswing because all the second and third gen drivers like Andretti's kid and Brian Herta's kid, and they're all like, and all of a sudden people are like, oh wow, they have some great drivers, right? And so they've kind of replenished everything, right? Baseball and football, they do such a great job. Basketball, how do you bring up the next set of stars, right? WWE does not have that. They do not have people where you're going, this person's going to make it big, right?
Except for the inside fans. The inside fans, they know all those guys, but you're right. But like to the casual, someone like you that hasn't watched for a while, but you're looking for the next Rock. You're looking for the next Goldberg.
Yeah. Remember one thing, and I want to quote Vince McMahon on this. It is sports entertainment. It's not sport. It's a different.
Well, I mean,
it's a predetermined, choreographed outcome. So it's hard to compare it.
They're in a lot of trouble though. When what was it? I can't remember where I read this. Where WWE or whatever they want to call it now is sending out like surveys to their members. I guess people who are on
the mailing network.
To find out what the storyline should be.
It's
like, oh my god, that is bad.
Yeah.
Like,
well, are they? Is it bad, or are they just giving the people what they want? I mean, it's debatable. I see what you mean, though.
I see that they're lost. I look at put it this way: when Eric Bischoff was running WCW, you didn't hear him going, I don't know what to write about. You're almost like, oh my god, I can't believe that shit happened.
I'll tell you what you're going to watch.
It was a double, triple cross.
That's true. He's got a point.
I can't believe Tyson did him dirty like that.
Is he right?
He is. Well, he is right.
I mean, it was a period there where it was just like home run.
Yep.
And I mean, literally, think about it. It was unthinkable to have a WCW. Remember, it was when they bought WWE and they merged, but it wasn't announced. And then it was like on Raw, like you have Kevin Nash and Scott Hall drinking at the bar and then screwing around. And then the whole montage clip ends with them walking on the Raw live just to fuck with them. It's like
it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, right?
You can't write that.
You can't write that.
No.
Yeah. That would have been awesome.
See, I think it started going downhill when they brought like DX back and NWO back, but it was for like 2 weeks and then it disappeared again.
Yeah.
That to me is when it was like.
Well, they couldn't. NWO, they really couldn't count on Hall and X-Pac, but actually both those guys were DX too because with the drinking problems and it's hard to.
As we're sitting here drinking beer, but that's not the point. We're the armchair QB.
But
we can sit back.
20,000 people.
We can sit back and look 20/20 in hindsight and say, hey, that's what you should have done because we're the experts. That's why we're the armchair QB show. Am I right?
I agree.
That's why we named it what we did because
we're the armchair quarterbacks. We don't got to do shit. Except for talk about it.
That's right. And if you listened to us, you'd have known better. Except we didn't really say it. We just, again.
They can actually watch us now. I know. It'll be on YouTube.
I know. Do I have to dress better than my MTV shirt that I love? I mean, I go canoeing in this thing for crying out loud.
I mean, well, it's new technology. I mean, so maybe we'll probably get better at it, and figure out how we want to do it. But yeah, it works.
We're on some new thing, Fro. It's called the internet or the intranet. I'm not sure.
Interwebs? Webs?
Yeah, sounds like the devil.
.net,
sounds
like .edu, .org.
Because it's worldwide.
It sounds like communism. I know what I want to think. That's what I think. But
one of those things in theory, it's great, but in reality.
Well, the internet, is great because it brings everyone together. The scary part about it is it brings everyone together.
Well, I think the greatest thing with the internet and all this technology kind of now, one, what we're doing, I mean, it's kind of cool. But Bill, you and I were talking about the other day, with say baseball, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not only can you have the MLB season pass on your cable provider, now you get MLB TV where I can watch it anywhere on my phone. Yep. They have a YouTube channel where it's picking random games. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. I mean,
I found myself in this early season checking that out at work. Going, oh, you watch it. Someone walks up, you're not supposed to be watching at work. Oh, what are you watching? Baseball? Oh, no, click. No, I'm running my TPS report.
Charts and graphs
here.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, even the stats they give you during the game now is just insane.
This man is batting .318 when it's above 65 degrees and
north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, dude. It's hey, more power to him, but it's just. It's a lot of information taken sometimes. But, I think to be a real diehard baseball fan, I don't mean a casual, I mean like a real diehard, something almost like you would. You almost have to be like a stat geek. And I mean that in a good way. Like you almost have to be able to break down and say, okay, here's what he is. Here's his on-base percentage versus a left-handed batter. Here's what here's what his odds are against this. I don't know.
We know who loves that information is the gambling public.
Yeah.
They love it.
I've been a little iffy on the whole sabermetrics. I guess, I get it. I mean, it's kind of cool. But the parts where it bothers me is that, man, it's kind of like the final 2 minutes of a basketball game where there's 100 timeouts, penalties, and it takes forever. It's like having one pitcher, and then it's like, oh, here's a righty, let's bring someone else in, or then now they do pump fakes where it's like the manager will bring out a righty, and then they'll go to the bullpen to bring up the lefty. But then all of a sudden, they'll be like, psych, I'm going to bring up the lefty anyway. It's like, that's the only thing I don't kind of like. It used to be one of those, you had a 7th inning guy, an 8th inning guy, and a 9th inning guy.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like someone got in trouble, you brought in the other guy.
Yeah.
If your starter really fucked it up, you had a long reliever.
Closer.
Now it's have these specialists, a lefty specialist, a righty specialist, a submariner,
Well, there's more money involved, and there's more, the stakes are even higher than ever before. I think that's really what it is, especially, today, people want results, and they want it now, especially your fans. Right. So if you have a team that's expected to be any good, like the Reds are expected to be pretty good this year.
How are they looking?
Well, some of the experts, I think it was Sports Illustrated or ESPN, only had them 10th, which I thought was a little low.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they'll eclipse that because they are the Reds, and I love them, but they're a smaller market team that they're not known for spending the money. They did this year.
Yeah.
They went out and got a few players. I'm.
It's good.
You ask any Reds fan, they're excited about the season. They are. It's something to look forward to, and we're gonna all tune in and see. So we'll see. But I don't know. I mean, how are the Mets looking?
I think they have the potential to be really good. Honestly,
yeah.
I think it's like with every injuries are gonna be the key. The Mets were just devastated with injuries. They had an awful first half. I had a great second half. It's going to be interesting. I'm optimistic. I think we can win the East. I think the most overrated signing was Bryce Harper. I think that's going to be the biggest mistake.
Man.
I think he was slumping and going through. I don't think he's worth that at all. So
no,
I
agree.
I think of all the teams, the Mets got better. I think the Mets, as long as injuries playing our right, I think we can win the East now. Or World Series, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting when Cespedes comes back mid-season.
Yeah.
Because he comes back after that heel surgery, and then we got that team the way that it is. Oh man, we got Robinson Cano, man. Dude's a beast, man. Michael Conforto.
What are Mookie Wilson kids doing? Are they available?
I don't know. I don't think he plays. A lot of their kids don't. He was like the third base coach forever, but just Mook. I love Mook, man.
Well, yeah.
The hardcore old school Met fans might have,
Well, that
name
picture.
recognition.
Well, I want that picture that you had on the Armchair Facebook with Rodney Dangerfield and Keith Hernandez.
Yes.
I'm like, where can I buy
Keith
that?
Hernandez.
Yeah. That has to be
Who's
a
this guy
Seinfeld
I think he
episode.
is?
Should I ask him to go hang out? Should I give him a call?
we always try to put some funny pictures and classic historical sports pictures on our Facebook page there on the Armchair QB show. So folks, go check it out. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you hate it. If you hate it, hey, just don't tell anybody.
So how the Pirates looking this year, man?
How the Buccos?
Yeah,
the
hear about
that?
Well, it's probably another year of transition.
Every year it's a year of transition for you guys.
2013.
You've been in transition since you guys traded Barry Bonds.
It's a smaller market team,
correct?
Right. And you're a lot like I empathize with Pittsburgh. I feel your pain. We can't all be living in New York, man, where there's money just,
Hey, we developed Andrew McCutcheon, local guy.
Yeah, I like him.
Again, there's limits on money, and until there's a full. There's a luxury tax, but there's still no salary cap, correct, in baseball?
There's
a luxury tax.
There's no hard cap.
No, there's a luxury tax. If you get above a certain amount, it's like over 200 mil. Like you pay a pretty hefty sales tax, and then I think that gets redistributed. I think all the other teams, yeah.
But it's a year in transition. I still think they have a top 3 ballpark in the MLB. PNC Park is beautiful.
Yeah.
Walk across the bridge. They shut down. It's Roberto Clemence's bridge. They shut it down. Put vendors out there. You can get outfield bleacher seats for $6. You can take your family and spend less than $100. What other pro sports team can you do that at?
Now,
not minor league, like professional.
Did you hear about the fan on opening day outside the Dodger Stadium that got beaten, and now I think he's on life support?
Did they say what the circumstances were?
They don't know yet. There was an altercation after the game on opening day outside Dodger Stadium, and the man was beaten, and he's on life support now. The assailant got away, They're you know,
Like 100 video cameras probably around there.
Well, you know, they're not always going to say what they have yet. They're they're not going to say, oh, we know this is a guy. This is. But the similar thing happened a couple years ago outside Dodger Stadium, and that guy, you know, he ended up with I think some brain damage. Like, what is the deal?
Fucking Doyers, man.
I tell you what, I'm not trying to pick on our left coast viewers here, but the Dodger fans and the Raider fans, what is the deal? It seems like whenever I go on YouTube and I check out some of these, you know, stadium fights, which I love to watch these because it's just, you know, one leads into another. I swear to God, like every third one is like a Raider fight, right?
Yeah. That is kind of true.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a coincidence. And
have you ever driven through Oakland?
I've never driven through Oakland.
I've had the pleasure. No.
I've been to Southern California several times.
How can I describe it?
I've never actually been to Oakland, I don't believe.
Oakland is it's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Just
like Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, I would say it has that vibe where it's like you don't really want to get off in any exit, and you hope the guy don't break down. I mean, there's like gang graffiti everywhere. It's a little hard, man. I mean, I'm sure there's lovely people there, but as a visitor, you go out there and you see all that. But the way I look at it, dude, I mean, it's like the ultimate home field advantage. Like I remember in playoffs when we were playing Minnesota for the NCAA championship game. They were like literally on the Minnesota local news telling people to not go to Philly for the game. I'm like, you know what?
Wow.
That is the ultimate home field advantage. Like you are afraid, and honestly, frankly, like dude, it should be that way. I want you coming to my house. I mean, I want you scared.
Now, was this before or after you went to the Cowboy Stadium with your Eagles gear on when you were down in?
Dallas? See, now the thing is like the way I looked at it, though. Different. But the thing is, like, this is where I lost all my respect for Cowboys fans. Even I already hated them anyway.
Yeah, you were telling me about this.
Yeah. So it was my first game that I went to was the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, and it was that Monday Night Football game where the Eagles annihilated, the Cowboys. Right, dude. 60% of these stands were filled with Eagles fans. How do you allow that to happen? We were singing the Eagles fight song, every touchdown, in their own house. That's to me. That's unacceptable, you know. At least if your team sucks, come out to tell them they suck. It's just,
man. It is what it is.
Pay to boo. Pay to boo.
That's right. We've talked about that before. Yeah. So, I don't know, my man. Frill, we had some moves in the NFL. Your Steelers, they've lost 2 key components.
Yeah, what is going on in Pittsburgh, man?
Well, let's establish some facts.
Sure.
Real facts this time.
If we're talking about the AFC North, so Cleveland, Cincy, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Everyone goes next year, oh, Cleveland, they're the favorite, hands down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fact number 1, Steelers still have the best quarterback in the AFC North. Whether you love or hate Ben, still the best. Let's be honest.
The best?
Two-time Super Bowl champion.
Okay.
AFC North quarterback.
2-time.
How old is he going to be?
That guy for Baltimore just runs around. Come on.
Lamar Jackson?
Yes, sorry. Yeah. And then Dalton, Big Red for Cincy.
Big Red.
He got a new coach this year. They finally,
it's so overrated, man.
What's his Marvin Lewis? 14 years, no playoff.
No, he's gone.
How? But how did you drop for that long? 14
he
years.
had to have some dirt on Mike
pictures.
Brown.
He
has pictures.
Well, Mike Brown doesn't care about winning as long as he still sells tickets.
He doesn't.
And the only reason, like, Lewis had to get fired because probably now he had Mike Brown probably had some dirt on him now. Now it's like, dude, your move.
Fact number 2.
Mutually assured destruction.
Oh, there it is.
Steelers fact number 2. 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen last year. They had the best line probably in the AFC. Fact number 3. Before he got hurt last year, James Conner, Le'Veon Bell's replacement, because Le'Veon Bell was too busy making musical albums.
Is that what he was doing?
So he claims. Before Conner got hurt in week 12, he was leading the AFC in rushing. Second-year guy out of Pitt, local guy. I mean, come on. Le'Veon Bell did come back. He was going to get booed out of the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
He had no chance.
Yeah, he totally did.
So, barring injury to Ben or James Conner next year, looking at their schedule, I don't see why 11-5 isn't reachable. Because people are saying the Browns will go 11-5. Let me tell you something. The Browns, week 1, chance are opening up at New England. Good luck. If they slam New England, hey, I'll bow down to them.
You know what?
Up with that
honestly,
Green Bay.
dude, New England always starts out slow, man. That's a winnable game for them.
Absolutely.
I honestly, I'm going to say it like this, especially with Gronk not going to be there. I say right now on paper, Cleveland Browns are a better team than New England Patriots.
All right, I want some predictions real quick before we wrap it up here. I just want a few predictions. I'll start with myself, then we'll go around the room. I'm going to say for WrestleMania, I think I'm going to say Brock retains the title over Seth Rollins. I had Rollins, and I had Rollins because I think Brock was leaving, and last year I had Brock leaving. Now what I'm reading, I think Brock's going to retain that. I think the women's match, or I know the women's match is going to close out the show. I heard Ronda Rousey's leaving. I'm taking Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch is red hot right now, so I like her to win. I think
that Hansel, he's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking too.
He's so hot right now.
He's so hot right now. I think that the Browns make the playoffs next year.
Oh, okay.
You laugh
Sorry,
away.
It's caught my throat. Excuse me.
Hey, and I'm going to say that I think the Reds win their division. Knock on wood. Yeah, I said it. And finally, I'm going to say that Michigan State wins it all in the NCAA tournament this year. Mike?
I'm on board.
Mike, would you have any predictions, just in general? Whatever.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm gonna say.
I kind of said a mouthful there. So
football wise, the Eagles will be back in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And I think the Browns are gonna be in the AFC Championship game.
Ooh,
I don't think they're gonna win it. They will be in the AFC Championship game.
Okay.
Okay. So that's my football. Baseball. The New York Mets are gonna win the East, and I think they will be in the NLCS. Okay. I'm going to say wrestling-wise, I'm going to say The Rock is going to win. Even though The Rock is not on the card, I think it's going to be one of those like, wait a minute, you're going to hear his theme music. He's going to come out.
He actually did that one year.
I know, he's going to beat the shit out of Triple H, and then he will do the people's elbow.
Mm-hmm.
He'll do some pose. And then he'll walk away.
Yep.
That's my prediction for wrestling. Basketball, I couldn't even tell you who the hell's in the Final Four right now, so I'm going to say, just pulling my psychic abilities out, I'm going to say Wofford is going to win it all.
Wofford has been eliminated.
Damn it. Well, good night, everybody. Fro, what do you got?
Predictions. Okay.
Predictions?
Well, start with WrestleMania.
Practice?
I feel that in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal,
which I'm looking forward to immensely,
a last-minute entrant and possibly winner, The Undertaker.
Ooh. Now, I've heard a rumor that
Undertaker is kind of a giant.
I've heard a rumor that your boy Gronkowski might be in it now. I could see him, and I could totally see him being in the Battle Royal. He
special guest referee.
I'm talking in the mofo. Now, a few years ago, he helped out his boy, Mojo Rawley, former NFL player, to win this Battle Royal like 3-4 years ago. Sure enough, who's in the front row? There's boy Gronk. Oh, it comes and helps him win. Why would it be beyond him this time he's retired as of a week ago. What, you got something better to do?
Maybe my last day, I'm short plane ride from Boston.
If I'm WWE, I'm like, listen, I got $1 million. Just show up there at Mania.
Sponsored by Tide Pods.
Tax-free.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
You know what? Conor McGregor retired. There's a rumor that he might show up at the Battle Royal. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's the internet.
Bring the UFC base over. I mean, I'll tell you.
I don't even know if he's allowed to legally. I'm just telling you, if I'm WWE and I'm able to do this, yeah, why not? If the price is right.
It's huge.
I would do it.
Baseball. I can see the Reds making a move. My Pirates, I'll follow. I will root for. If they finish 81-81, to me, that's well done. So that's the best I can hope for with that.
All right, that works.
I like it.
That plays. That plays.
Okay.
Basketball, college basketball. Gonna pull from Michigan State. Keep it local. Keep it Big Ten. I like their coach. Always have.
Izzo.
And for football, okay.
No.
We're gonna make a plan.
A little early, but go ahead.
And Todd Miller, if you're listening to this, this is for you because I owe this to you. Back in 1999, I made a bet that the Buckeyes would not make the Final Four. I believe it was.
It was the Final Four. I remember this.
They did. I would dye my hair blonde.
Which you did not.
I backed out. I did. I was.
You would back out of it.
I'm talking bleach blonde, like Nature Boy Ric Flair blonde.
If the Browns this year have a better record than the Steelers, I should say win the division or a better record than Pittsburgh. However, before I say what I'll do, this is providing Ben Roethlisberger plays the entire season. If Ben gets hurt, all bets are off. If Ben is healthy and the Browns finish as AFC North champions over the Steelers, I will dye my hair temporarily blonde for no more than 3 days. I hope that works for you, Todd.
Folks, you heard it here first. I would like to see that.
I'm just going to shake my head.
Michael, what can you do?
Nothing. None of my therapeutic powers work on you guys, so you're fucked.
Luckily for us, the FCC regulations have been loosened so much to where we're just allowed to be on the air every week now. So
pretty much, yeah. That's how it rolls.
You're welcome,
man.
America. So on that note, we're just going to go ahead and shut it down, just like we did LeBron. LeBron shut it down, done for the year. So we're going to go ahead and shut it down ourselves here for this week. Catch us next time, and we're going to discuss more happenings around the world, sports and entertainment. I want to discuss the new third Bad Boys movie coming out. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. Oh, absolutely.
Dude, are they going to be like in walkers? I mean, like, they're going to be complaining about their hips and
come on.
bunions on their feet.
I also still want to talk about the Friday the 13th series coming up. So check us out next time. Thank you guys so much. I'm Bill Reed. With me, as always, is Mike Devine. He is the host of Great Matters Radio. They're on the Reporters Network. And with us is Bro. Take care, guys. Love you all. See you next time.